Okay, hello everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome,
Hello.
welcome. Uh, welcome to this episode of RJ's Knives. First of all, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out in the audience. It's awesome to see all you guys here. Uh, I see a whole bunch of people in the chat, and that's got to be because of our special guest Joe from MesserHQ. But as you see, we're joined by Matt and John from Thrifty Kniffy, Tom from Knife Delights, and of course our favorite Irishman, Stephen from Patty's Potato Peelers. How are you guys doing this morning?
All good, thank
Very
you.
well. Very well.
Great to see you in the podcast today. Really good to see him back.
It is. It's Joe, you've been an inspiration to myself, and I know Patty always enjoyed your videos because they were always so informative and so good about the traditional knives that we really love. So thank you for all your hard work over the years for that. But you're mostly on Instagram now?
Yeah, I'm mostly on Instagram. That's the only kind of social media platform that I'm really using actively at the moment.
Yep. So there you go, guys. If you want to see awesome pictures of awesome knives, follow Joe on Instagram. That is awesome. We'll throw a link up for your Instagram. Also, another thing I wanted to talk about, a couple channels that are friends of our channels and stuff, and that's Richter Knives and Doom Crew Outdoors. They both are, right at the edge, right at the cusp of getting over 1,000 subs. So if we can try to push them over 1,000, that would be awesome. I know Richter, he's at 950 this morning. If we could get him over the wall on Father's Day, that would be an awesome Father's Day gift for him. So tell all your friends that aren't subscribed to Richter's Knives to please go over there and do that. And the same thing for Doom Crew. Let's see if we can get Doom Crew over 1,000. That would be awesome. And we do have a couple other. Oh, hey, Big J, I see you're there, and Ray. What's this? Oh, Jeroen, you're here. Not awesome. Yeah. Yes. Don't worry, Sussex. We're gonna have links up for those guys, and for sure, let's encourage our couple of new channels that we have. We have Steel City Knives and Pocket Knives and Harmonicas. They're there. Sean Fleming just started his channel. So let's give these guys all some support. And
we got Sussex EDC as well, another new one.
Yep, Sussex EDC. And we definitely need to get some of these guys, get some traction and start making a name for themselves here in YouTube. So who'd like to go first? Anybody got anything that they'd like to say?
I'd like to say hi to everybody. Thank you for having me on, RJ.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I know there's going to be some questions going on, so I might as well just go ahead and just talk about it right now. A lot of people want to know I haven't made videos, about a year and a half now. I was active on YouTube from 2014 to middle 2021. I can't get into everything right now here. I will let you guys in on a little bit, but lots of stuff was going on in the background. One of the things that took up most of the time, I was trying to drop a significant amount of weight. My wife and I were trying to have a baby. We had the idea that we wanted to have a child. I was really out of shape. I was around 330 pounds, I believe, when I started this. And I decided if I'm going to have a baby, I'm going to be, a fit dad. I'm going to get myself back in shape so I can run around with this kid and play with this kid and have fun with this kid. So I kind of went on this little journey, losing weight. It went over, I'd say, about a 4-year period of time. And right around, I'd say 2020, I was, probably 70% to my goal. I wanted to lose 100 pounds. And that's right around when the channel stopped. And that's right around when the workouts kind of started intensifying. And I kind of started turning into a little bit more of a hermit. It was just more focused on training, focused on my wife. That's basically all I did. I worked out pretty much every waking second, every free second of the day that I had. If I had to put an hour behind it, I'd say I probably trained 6 to 7 hours a day. toward the end. I reached a level of fitness last year that I've never reached in my entire life. I'm not that fit currently. I recently had a baby. And through that process, it was really hard to maintain the workouts that I was doing, the diet that I was keeping. I did put on probably back about 15 pounds. But now I'm getting back into a rhythm, and I'm hoping to reach that level of fitness that I did last year again, because I can tell you it was a lot of fun. And part of that, along with that, I couldn't watch videos anymore. When I was doing YouTube, I was really involved in the community. I would watch everyone's videos. I wouldn't just click on and leave a comment. I would click on and watch the entire 10-minute video, the entire 25-minute video sometimes. Comment on every video. If people wrote me, I was constantly, keeping in contact with them. I kept in contact with probably over 100 people on email, not to mention YouTube, Instagram, stuff like that. And at that point in my life, when I was just focusing so much on losing this 100 pounds, I just couldn't keep up with it. I stopped answering emails. I stopped answering comments. I always felt really bad about it. I just didn't know how to deal with it otherwise. I didn't know how to tell people that I needed this time for myself. So yeah, in the end, I didn't lose 100 pounds. I lost 130 pounds.
Wow.
Congratulations.
So that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years, basically, the last 4 or 5 years, actually, along with having a baby, which is just a recent addition. So Patty asked me before we started here if I'm going to start making videos again. That's not the plan. I'm here because RJ asked me to do this show. He wrote me and asked me, and like I said, told them I couldn't think of a good reason why not to. So it's a good break. Here I got a table full of knives, and yeah, I'm a little rusty. I hope you guys are easy on me, and I'm looking forward.
Of course. Yeah, we didn't come to grill you, but congratulations. That is really awesome that you did that for your health, for your family. I mean, gosh, losing 130 pounds, that's like an entire sixth grader or something. Yeah.
Oh,
and I tried not to completely disappear. I did continue to meet up with people in person. I went to different night shows. I kept my Instagram open with regular posting the entire time. So I tried not to just disappear. Just YouTube was something that was taking a huge part of my time at that point in my life, and I needed that time. So that's something I can share with you guys. But there was also other things going on in the background.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome though that you did that, and I'm glad you were able to kind of give everybody that had been asking an answer, because I've seen that comment several times about your channel, about where did he go and why did he stop and all this other stuff, and I've
people write me all the time, and I'm always happy to talk to people. People write me and said I love your show, and I love talking knives, and if I have time, I'll sit there and I'll talk to someone all night. On Instagram or something, just talking.
Right.
I wasn't trying to disappear, I was trying to just kind of remain there in the background. So
yeah.
Whoa.
Has it stopped you buying knives to any extent?
I don't buy as many knives. When I had the active YouTube channel, I was buying new knives just to kind of have new content all the time. I was constantly trading with people just to kind of get fresh knives and to show on channel. I still do buy knives. I'm not buying nearly at the rate I was. I'm not selling a lot of knives either. It's kind of like a time capsule in the other room. I just kind of kept my knives buttoned up in a cabinet, and I've sold a couple of them, but for the most part, my entire collection's intact.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, do you want to show off any of your knives, Joe? Do you want to start this? Kind of our topic was inspired by Patty this on the last show when he said we should look at some secondhand knives and secondhand gems, things that we've gotten, and so I said that sounds like a great topic. And so really the only criteria I had for this is that the knives that you show, whether it was one that you bought in an antique store or a pawn shop, or maybe one you traded for, or even a gift, something that you were not you didn't say, oh, I want X knife, and you go and buy it with your with your money, but this would be something that someone else got for your, maybe something you won in a giveaway, or something like that. Something where you were not the person that went to the store to buy it. Yeah, so
I think my reasoning behind it was there's so many knife companies out there. They're all firing out as many knives as they can get out in 1 week. And if you try to keep up with that as a YouTuber, it'll drive you insane. Never mind, your bank will just get emptied. You can't keep doing it. I mean, you see new channels coming on, and they fire all this money at it. And really, it's not the knives people want to see. It's your personality. What do you think of knives? That's more important than this huge quantity of knives thrown out, every week. And I think once you get to learn that, it makes it a little bit easier. And like Joe was saying there, I mean, I buy more secondhand knives now than I do new knives because I couldn't keep up to that. You know what I mean? So,
in the past couple of years, I feel like the price of knives has gotten a little out of control. And I have thought about buying a knife that, I saw on Instagram or something like that. And I go look at the price, and I'm like, no way. Like, I'm not paying $350 for that, or euro, or whatever it is. And it could be something in deep steel, or I don't know. It's not even special anymore. So yeah, I enjoy buying secondhand knives. I was excited when you told me this was the topic, because I would say that's probably 80% of my collection. I'm not the original owner. I have a lot of GEC. I've never gotten a GEC on a drop, not a single time. Every single one of my GECs came from other YouTubers or other Instagrammers or something like that. So I've got quite a few knives to show. We were talking a little bit in the pre-chat about some channels that need to be shouted out and pushed over, and I can talk about Richter Knives a little bit. He was up to like 950 subs, I think he said.
Yes.
And yeah, so if anyone that's in the chat because of me, that's not subscribed to Richter Knives, if you like my content, I'm pretty sure you would like his. He's a guy. I was excited when he started his channel. Go ahead. And I actually I've known Michael Richter for a long time, long before he started his YouTube channel. We've been friends on Instagram. We've done a few trades back and forth. I bought some leather off of him, and I got some stuff I can show you.
Yeah.
2 copper locks.
Yeah, let me bring you up full screen.
These are the only copper locks that I have in my collection, but I got both of them.
Oh, that's nice.
This one is in burnt indigo. I believe it's called in the Warncliffe. Let me put that one down for a second. I'll show you the other one. And this one is what's it called ginger ale winter bottom bone.
That's beautiful.
He was talking these knives up, and he was telling me how much he liked them, and I had never had one. And I said, yeah, let me take a look at them. We traded a couple knives. I honestly can't remember exactly what we traded. But he sent a couple knives to Germany. I sent a couple knives to the U.S., and I got these. And I've liked them ever since. It's a great pattern. Both of these, the fit and finish is really, really good. I know sometimes with case, the fit and finish can get a little bit spotty, but at least both of these examples, let me show you, pretty tight tolerances, pretty center blades, no blade play. Let me get these in the hand. But yeah, these used to be his, and I did a video on this one, and he told me how much he missed this one when I posted the video, and he hunted that one, and I know that he bought one exactly like that since this one. So I got both of these copper locks from Michael Richter, and I know that he's doing really well right now with his leatherworking. It's really good to see.
Yes, he is.
I also do leatherworking. I'm not nearly as good as Mr. Richter himself, but I was learning around the time he was learning. He had a little bit more experience on me. He was already making stuff. I wasn't to the point where I was really making stuff. I was to the point where I was watching YouTube videos. I had bought some tools, and I was looking for some stuff, and he was making these little EDC caddies that I saw him posting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's been posting those. 2 pockets in the front, a large pocket in the back, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, and I thought they were really cool. And I wrote them myself. And I bought both of these off of them. So these are some really early Richter. And this, inspired some of my leather work. And I can show you, from this pattern, I got it in the hand. And I made this one.
Oh, nice.
Pretty exact replica, but then, of course I made it my own. But, because of Michael Richter, I started making these little EDC caddies, and I thought that's really cool. So I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate your friendship, and I hope you get over the 1,000 subs soon. Because honestly, on YouTube, the fun starts at 1,000 subs. They really handcuff you. You can't do anything.
Exactly.
That magic number. I can show you one more thing I made. This is the slip that I made for the copper lock. Little horizontal goes on your belt.
That is lovely.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to. Yeah, I got a little stamp made. Yeah, so I'm enjoying the hobby. I'm not selling any of it. I've made some. I've given some away. I've made some for some friends, but right now it's just a hobby. I can honestly say with my work schedule and the baby right now, it's really hard finding time to do this knife stuff and other hobby stuff. So
yeah,
that I got from Michael Richter Knives.
Right on.
So I just got a copper lock this week. You don't need to pull me up. It was just not a copper lock. Mine's just a copper head, which again is UK legal. So I mean, this is a lovely saw cut bone on it.
Yeah,
but really nice. And it's the first two-bladed one I've got, and I have to say it's beautiful. The fit and finish again is good. There's a bit of a gap on the back, but nothing that would worry me about. It's a tiny little gap down here.
Right.
Other than that, it's perfect.
Yeah, I saw that when you showed it in your video, and I thought that was just a beautiful knife. I forgot to put a comment on it. That's my vote for your next video.
You're not going to win. GEC won by a landslide.
I figured that would be the case. I wouldn't turn the tide.
I actually thought Case would have won, but because a lot of people are a bit anti-GEC because they can't get them or they haven't tried hard enough, one of the two. But yeah,
it's true. It's true. So let's kind of catch up with the rest of you guys. What's been going on new in your world, Matt?
New in my world. Just did a live yesterday with John for a joint sort of sub giveaway. John recently hit 3,000 subs, so that's a sort of a huge milestone. So congratulations, John.
Yep, congratulations to John.
Very, very well done.
To you too for getting to 500.
Thank you. I got to 500, and now I'm pretty much nearly at 600 now. I'm about 592, I think I am, which has just gone berserk in the last sort of like week and a half. So it's just mental.
Well, it really goes to show that just anybody can do it now. You know what I mean? That's great.
Yeah. Some clown like me can make videos. It's your fault, Stephen. I started, so this is all you're doing.
I would like to think I had a small part in encouraging you also.
Yeah, there was encouragement from both of these guys to start a channel. I mean, it was a very small nudge. It didn't take a lot.
Yeah, I noticed.
Start a channel, Matt. All right.
Okay. But in sort of terms of knives, I've not really got anything sort of new. I got that new. Well, I got the 75 pattern maybe about a week ago.
Yeah,
I've been really enjoying this, and the smooth red bone, the old red smooth bone, I think it's called. Yes. Really enjoying this.
Bring that.
Yeah, sure. But apart from that, I haven't really had any new knives this week. I've got a couple of things on order, which I don't want to sort of ruin the surprise of what they are. Right. I've got quite a few in my basket that are coming this next sort of week, but there'll be videos up when they arrive. But I'm still trying to work through a massive backlog of videos. Yeah. I seem to have just gone nuts over the last like 2 months, and I've probably got about 10 or 15 boxes of stuff just waiting to open. I just haven't got around to it.
Is that Stockman in the stainless steel or the carbon steel?
Yeah, right? It's the stainless steel.
Yeah. Very nice.
Is there a reason why Case don't want to do carbon steel as much as stainless steel? I don't understand it because everybody wants carbon that I talk to.
Well, I saw some videos. Now these are several years old. If you look at the ones that there's one about this old guy that like he has like a really huge case collection or whatever, and he was in his 90s or whatever. But I think the collector guys, they like the stainless because there's no blade maintenance. the guys that actually like to work with knives and do stuff at work and stuff with them, they all prefer carbon. I think that's the difference right there. Is it just people's philosophy on what's the knife going to do, or where's it going to be, if it's a collectible or not.
It's just, I think they've got such a huge factory there. Surely they could have one production line that's doing, 1095.
Right.
Going all year long, I would say. I don't think they'd keep any of them in stock.
I agree with you 100%.
I much prefer the carbon steel blades. I mean, the stainless steel's not going to stop me buying the other patterns. I still like the steel, but I don't know what it is about carbon steel. It's that, I suppose it's the nostalgia, isn't it? It's just, it's an older steel, like the older way. I think that's probably what it is.
Well, I think also it depends on the pattern, like you said, because some patterns you can find carbon, and it depends on what the cover material is too.
Yeah.
If you want a certain, thing, like say it's a pocket worn gray or the Caribbean saw cut or whatever, it's going to be in different steels. They won't have it in both. You can't get like a stainless and a carbon.
Yeah.
In
sort of like this series is this steel, and that's what it is. Yeah.
Right. The ones that you can get it pretty much in both is the amber peach seed jig bone and the yellow synthetic. You can get, like, both of those lines are huge. Then you can get stainless or carbon. But then when you travel outside of that, then it's it is what it is. And you gotta play the game that way. At least that's what I've found in, what I see out there. I could be wrong. We'll have to get Maury on the show. I doubt he'd agree to come on, but I'll reach out to him.
Maury, mate.
Yep. He just might.
John, are you muted? Are you muted?
No.
Oh, sorry. You were just talking to yourself. I seen your lips going. I thought, is he muted?
Oh, sorry.
Either that or
he
might have been eating one of Tom's snack cakes.
No. To further your point, RJ, I think a lot of people, like within the collector community, start to lose sight of like where the majority of case knives are sold to, or who they're sold to, I should say. I mean, you've got wives, girlfriends buying stuff for their significant other, or whether they're not going to care about whether it's carbon or stainless. And I think as collectors, we kind of get narrow focus on where they sell most of their knives. I guarantee if you look at their sales, we're just a small portion of the ones buying the knives. The majority are going to be sold to just your average customer. And not only that, but you also have to look at it from that same standpoint when you consider their quality control. I think we've kind of learned that, when we had more of the issues with the gaps. I think they've come a little way since then. I think they've improved, but you've got certain patterns I think are still suspect to those QC issues. But we are not the intended market. We are just the sort of icing on the cake. So for anyone to think that they're just going to start doing what we want them to do because we're the most interested in the knives doesn't mean that we're the majority of their sales or where their bread is buttered. I don't think that's the case. I mean, you guys are
the average guy is not gonna worry about a bit of gap in here and there. They bought it to use as a tool rather than to having a collection, so they're not going to worry about those sort of things, stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And even with the collectors, like when I watched that video of that guy, a lot of the things that made a knife collectible were, the year it was made, the cover material, stuff like that. There was no talk of fit and finish or anything. They went to a knife show down in Florida and they were just showing all these different ones. And like, I think the king piece in the whole collection was like a trapper that had been made in the 40s that had cover material that they don't do anymore. And, the markings on it and stuff like that. That was what made it collectible. Nobody was worried about gaps or was the knife centered in the frame or any of the stuff that YouTube worries about. That was not even something that the serious collectors were looking at all. They were looking for other things, but that wasn't one of them.
Yeah, they're sort of going for like the pure rareness of the knife. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Although a lot of the British companies that went bust and went out of production, it was the fit and finish that wrecked it for them. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? It was the fit and finish. It was the thing. So I don't know whether it comes to a point. Oh, there we go. Comment alert.
You got a comment alert. Go ahead, Tom.
Hey, RJ, where is it here? Dutch Knife Guy, he said he would like to know what everybody's favorite traditional EDC is.
Oh,
Okay. Well, who wants to go first on that? And do you have an example of that to show?
I do.
Okay.
Oh, the favorite word, my least
The
favorite.
favorite. Because
Your least
Too
favorite
many.
word,
Yeah,
or
It's
is
just-
it a word or a sentence?
it's just too hard to come up with a favorite all the time.
now look here, John, I've been practicing. Remember
I know it.
goalpost? I can
I
see
know it.
through my hands now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're an
So this
expert.
is the Evo Grip 11, and I always have this in my pocket. It's the first knife that goes in my pocket every day. So I've carried this every day for at least 5 years, 4 or 5 years. I always have probably 2 or 3 knives on me, but I carry the Evo Grip every day. So it's just kind of a matter of what I'm going to match up with the Evo Grip. And I kind of like it. The biggest feature for me is it's got an actual Phillips head on it, and it comes out the bottom. So if you got you can really torque down good on a screw. So that is my favorite EDC amongst the secondary and tertiary knives that I carry with it.
Nice. And Jeroen's updated your quote. I can see through my blades. Tom, 2023.
All right. Oh, wait. While I got the dime here, Big Red EDC says, Happy Father's Day.
Yep. And happy Father's Day to you too, JB. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are
I
out
think
here
he left
today watching
already.
this.
Not able to tag him. I think he left already.
Did he pop in and out?
He sniped a member and then he took off.
Well,
And-
that's the way it goes.
Since you still got me up there, I'll remind everybody to hit that like button. And I want to thank Gary at the Last Ranger for helping to moderate here today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gary. That's awesome.
No, it says he's in here, but I'm not able to tag him. I don't know why.
Oh, there he is. He just
Weird.
he just said hello to
Okay.
everybody in the chat.
Why is it tagged now? There we go.
Oh, he says, I'm still here.
Yep. Sorry about that.
It
YouTube was acting funky.
was acting
YouTube
funky
never.
on this, live stream last night too.
Yeah, I was doing some
Yeah, it
weird
kept like
stuff.
jumping back a couple of seconds. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
it
weird.
was. It would jump and the chat would freeze, and it was odd, very odd. I haven't seen it like that ever, but maybe YouTube's having some issues this weekend. Who knows? All right. Well, it doesn't have to be your favorite, John, but do you have a traditional you like?
Yeah, I
to
mean,
carry?
sure. There's one I
How
carry
about
out.
we change that to one that you like to carry a lot as opposed to your favorite?
Yeah,
How's that?
yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that. So I've shown this so many times. I feel like I'm in the movie Groundhog's Day, but
Oh, please, not that one again, John.
yes, right.
But
I
that's
just-
a good knife.
It's just a great carry. It just does everything I need it to do, and I don't have to worry about screwing it up or dropping it or being an idiot with it. Just simple old timer 50TH Heritage Series. Got the laminated gray wood, nothing fancy, and D2 stainless blade, or semi stainless, I should say. But
Yeah.
that's the one I carry the most.
Very
And you
good.
can see it's got a little patina on there. Teeners, as they call it.
You got to say it 3 times.
Teeners. Is that better?
Yeah, that's for
Yeah.
Richter.
Richter? There you go, Richter. Shout out to Richter.
that's
So-
one of the best tips I've had this year. I bought that on your recommendation, and you were exactly right.
Oh yeah, that knife is just perfect. It really is for a small lockback. I mean, hands down, all day long. That's a winner. So that's definitely a good one. How about you, Slippy? You ready?
I'm just trying to grab one out. I'm doing it at a sort of weird angle.
All right.
It's hard for me to sort of pick one. As I said, I've got so many that I carry all the time. I'm just going to grab the closest one.
I'll go ahead and go so that you can
Sure.
grab your knife. But yeah, this one, Randy's WSG put in a comment about a sentimental knife and a favorite one. And this is one that I've been carrying a lot lately. And although it's still a yellow trapper, this is the one that my wife gifted me. So this was an anniversary present, and this one does have the stainless steel blades, and I really like it. The stainless steel does do good. I was inspired, Patty, by your sharpening video, and so as you can see, I put an edge on these. That was pretty much a lot of fun that day doing that, and I was very happy with my results. So you inspired me to break out my gear and to actually stick to it. And I followed your advice about not moving on until it cuts. So it was that was great advice.
That was Jeff Jewell. He used to be prolific on YouTube. If you ever want to learn anything about sharpening knives, Jeff Jewell was the boy.
Absolutely. I agree, John. Yep, Case Trapper. That's a good knife. You better believe it. Are you ready, Matt?
I am.
Okay, Matt, huge fan of the Spay blade. So let's. So
the knife I've got here actually has a Spay blade on it, but I don't really touch it. You can't help it when you like the sow belly stock one. So this is the Case one. This is probably the last sort of 6 months I've carried the most out of all my knives.
Yeah,
I just really enjoy the pattern. Like ever since I watched John's video on the 6.5 bone stag, and this is the one I could pick up here in the UK.
Yes.
And this has been my sort of go-to carry. I'd say I probably carry it at least twice a week, if not more. There's this really nice fat sheep's blade on it. Jerome, you can leave now. And then he also has this blade, showing that blade. But this is the real sort of winner for me. It's just a really comfortable pattern. Yeah, the sheep's foot blade sticks up a bit, but when you're using it, you don't really feel it in hand. It sits nicely behind. Well, you can see where it sort of fits just in here. And it's nice and comfortable for me. And I just think it's a nice sort of stylish knife as well. I'd love to get one in the bone handles, but I can't seem to find one in the UK that's a reasonable price. I'm not willing to pay upwards of £100 for it, so I'll just wait until I can find one that I can find that's a reasonable. It is, Byron. It's one of the best ones out there. But apart from that, another one I carry all the time is, since I've got it, I got it about 2 months ago, is the USA made Old Timer 8OT. That's another one I carry pretty much religiously every week.
Yeah, that's
still has a really nice edge on the clip point blade. The sheep's foot's seen better days, and I lie, it's started to round up at the end. There's still plenty of life in it. And but then that's another one I carry all the time.
Yeah, that's a great knife.
That's pretty much my go-to. Is if I'm not sure what to carry for the day, the sow belly comes out every time.
The Spay on the sow belly, I really like how they do that swedge on top too. That really makes it very stylish.
On top, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a good looking blade. That really is.
I'll say this once and once only. This is my favorite Spay blade of all my Spay blades.
There you go. That's good.
And we're not recording that or bringing that up ever again. That's just how it is done now.
All right, who's next?
Well, we can take a look at that.
Oh, you want
to get John's up? I want to see this again.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I'm going to make a point to show this knife every live from here into perpetuity.
I think everyone will love to see it. That 6.5 bone is awesome.
That way, I can say this about the other one instead of in the deja vu being for the other knife. I can say it's for this one. But yeah, I just agreed with everything that Slippy said about that. Just the blade shapes are awesome. Really like the way that they do the big sheep's foot. It's just an awesome blade.
Yeah,
It really is.
I agree, 100%.
It's just built, and it's just really sturdy as well. There's no sort of play on mine or anything. The finish is fantastic. It just feels like a really well built knife. Like you could do some serious work with it and not worry about it at all.
But if you're looking for a great case knife and you want a toady bows pattern, that would be the first choice I would make.
Definitely.
Is to find you one of those.
100%.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, well, my favorite pattern for a while and still today, I would have to say, is the Fremont Jack. Just because of the exclusivity of it, I had to hunt for this knife for so long. It was my grail. I wanted one of these so bad. Every single time I saw someone post it on Instagram, I would write them and ask them if they wanted to trade it, if they wanted to sell it. The answer is always no. It continues to be, to this day, it's just one of those elusive knives. I actually don't know if they've made any new runs of these recently. I believe this one's from 2017. I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, I just love the blade shape on it.
Yeah, that's
Very
nice.
unique blade shape, the saber grind. You know, the sleeve board pattern for me is just an extremely comfortable pattern in the hand. The fat swell up top really fills the hand, and this blade to me, I mean, and every time I post it, you know, I see people doing the same thing to me. You know, people write me, they offer me all kinds of stuff for this knife. But this knife, you know, just has a history with me. It's been all around with me. You know, it's definitely my favorite knife in my collection. I believe I got this one from Joel06 on Instagram. Like I said, I hunted one of these for the longest time, and after a while, he just wrote me and said he had 2 of them, and he asked me if I wanted one. This one's in the red linen micarta. It has gotten nice and dark.
Yeah.
Over the years. This one's gone back and forth to being completely black with patina to polishing it up. I brought it to Ischia with me, and that was probably a bad idea because the salt in the air really caused some rust issues with this one, but I was able to clean it off. And yeah, the Fremont Jack was my forever grow knife, and I finally got it, and I'd still say it's my favorite knife.
That is awesome. Great story. And that's the thing about the secondhand knives. They usually have a great story that goes with them. It's not just, you know, when you go buy one out of a shop or online or whatever, you know, it's the story that comes with it, you know, whatever that story is, you know.
Yeah, mine's much the same as Joe was there. This I just got this year, and I had searched for years to get a good one. You can get old ones off them. This is the Russell Barlow.
Oh, yeah.
And Barlow is my favorite pattern, whether it be single blade or, you know, a twin blade. I just love a Barlow knife. I always feel as if I've got the right knife in my pocket when I have one. It's one of those little comfort things. This is in a lovely, like, elderberry colored bone. This was made by Boker, I believe. As far as the search goes, Boker's where I've ended up. And a lot of people have let me know. But I've wanted a Russell Barlow, and they're so difficult to get in good nick. So I managed to get this. Well, I actually got 2 this year. One was a charade made, and one was this one. But this is the pick of the bunch. I just love a Barlow. So there you go. There's mine.
Very nice.
And I think getting sort of, I know the word Grail's thrown about a lot, and I don't like it because I sort of have one, but when you're hunting for something for years, it becomes very special when you get it. And it's not the sort of thing you're going to get and flog off the next day. So, yeah, there's special knives when you get a Grail.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, I don't know, Ray. We'll have to see. You have anything to say about that, John?
That works for me. That's fine.
Should we call you Wee John?
Whatever you want. I've heard a lot worse.
Yeah, usually here on the
just
Sunday.
not this episode.
Yeah.
You
We've all been on our good behavior since Joe's here.
don't got to behave because of me.
Here's a question that sort of goes with that. Has anybody got a, what do you want to call it, a Grail or a knife that they're avidly searching for at the minute and haven't been able to find it?
Did you say Grail or Gorilla?
Any one of the two.
I can't understand you freaking leprechaun.
I resemble that remark.
RJ, stand up.
Yes, I'll stand up. Here we go.
Hey, there it is. I love that shirt.
John, this is especially for the. There's something hidden behind this little leprechaun. Can you guess? Can you guess what it is?
It's a pot of gold. It's a pot
Do you
of
know
gold.
what it is yet? So has anybody got any knives that they're avidly searching for and have been for a while and not been successful? Because somebody out there might have it.
Well,
I mean, for me, originally it was the USA made 8OT old timer, but I managed to get one of those. It took me a while to find one. Managed to find one here in the UK of all places. But as for a new sort of thing, I'm looking for not particularly. I've just been kind of obsessed with case recently, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't really have a Grail at the moment. I've still got my eye out for if I can find a GEC that I think is a reasonable price, then I'll probably do that. But that's probably the only thing I'm kind of wanting to add in my collection that I don't have. But I have been focused on case a lot, this last year, I must admit.
There you go, Patty.
Let's see what you got there, John.
Swayback Jack.
Yeah, I've been looking for something with the brown sycamore, and I found that.
Yeah, it was one of the first really good case knives I had. I've had a few variations, but beautiful.
Yep, that's nice.
Yeah. The swayback still feels weird in my hand. I always want to turn it the other way. It just is awkward, but it is a beautiful handle, and love that wood, sycamore wood.
I tried the bigger one, John, and it's more uncomfortable. You can get away with it with a small one.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I would imagine it'd be worse, wouldn't it?
It doesn't suit me at all, I have to say.
But yeah, that was kind of one I was looking for a while. Finally happened upon it.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I don't collect a lot at the moment. I'm not collecting like I used to, but I still do collect the Boker 182 Sportmesser and similar type humpback knives, if you will. There's a few, depending on the age, that I might whip out my credit card. Show you this one right here. This one's one of the oldest that I have.
That's lovely, lovely bone. Is that stag?
From the 1930s. This is stag.
Mm.
Yeah, and this one was given to me.
Wow.
A guy named Swiss Army Guy.
Yeah.
Instagram wrote me one time with a picture of this and said, I got this in a trade, or I found this somewhere. What should I do with it? And I immediately said he should sell it to me. Yeah. Well, he didn't end up selling it to me. He ended up giving it to me. And I ended up sending some knives back his way. It's not perfect. It is. The springs are broken. The blade, I think all the springs are broken. The tools just kind of flop around. So it is a broken knife, but it is a really nice early example.
Yeah.
Boker 182 Sportmesser. So that's one of the patterns that I'm actively searching for and still collecting.
Yeah, I always enjoyed your Sportmesser videos. I don't have an example of those, but I thought those were really cool. There's some people, Patty, that are saying that they would love to listen to you talk all the time, even if you were just reading the newspaper or something.
Thank you very much, RJ. You've got a very high class of customer right there.
Well, there you go, Greg. All you have to do is ask him, and he'll do it for you.
Okay, Patty, that means you're going to be doing a live, just reading the newspaper.
there's one, John, that you would like. There's to go with your other stag.
Ooh.
That's the sway back in the stag.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah,
showed me
that's a nice one.
that last week.
Some of the nicest stag I've had in a knife. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great.
Really is.
That looks great.
Oh, that's it.
And that's the smaller one too, right?
It's a small. I say I've tried bigger swaybacks, but I really don't like them. I don't like the feel of them unless you're doing pull cuts.
Right.
A swayback's meant to be pull cuts, but that's a great wee whittler. You know, you can get your hand in and just do a bit of whittling and that.
Right.
If you were going to use it for that sort of thing, but it's more I just love the bone on it. What about you, RJ? Did you say?
I didn't say. I was busy bringing up Jeroen's comment here.
As he reads in the Times.
So
You could have picked a better paper to read. The Times is horrendous.
it's either going to be the Beano or the Topper.
Oh, Topper.
If it
don't
doesn't
know
have
those either.
pictures, it's not real.
Okay, we have a comment alert.
I just wanted to let you know that John Moran sent you a super chat there for $2. He says
Oh,
he's got to
thank you.
run, but happy Father's Day, guys. Thank you.
John. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Joe, just so you know, though, that clicking you hear, that's
Okay.
TK putting pennies and nickels in a jar. We're trying to raise funds so I can get a one-way flight over to Ireland to visit Patty for a year or two.
You gotta make that.
He's planning on camping at the side of your house.
You have an extra caravan?
That's good. I'm not on the first floor of the flats. And there's a railway line that he'll not know about. I'll direct him to.
Yeah, just set up your tent between these two metal bars.
Jeez.
Oh,
Oh, Tommy, you're being crucified over here.
Oh, I know it. I've come to expect it.
Well, you missed it, Tom. We're asking: is anybody what's a Grail knife that you're looking for at the minute that you haven't found? One that's a real special one that you've not been able to get.
I'm glad you asked because I've been thinking for the last week about ordering. I don't have one, and I really want to get one. And you're familiar with that knife company, We?
Yeah.
I think they make some small knives, and I want to get a wee knife, but I want it to be a wee knife so I can have a wee knife to send to wee Judd, because I want to hear wee Judd say, "This is wee Judd with a wee knife."
He will do it this week on the channel because I have a wee.
Okay. Well, we got another.
oh,
We got another
thank you.
super chat.
Oh,
$5 for Tom's chip jar. Here I come,
Yeah.
Patty.
Oh, don't encourage this guy. Oh my
Big
goodness.
Red. I
thank you,
used to
Jamie.
call him a friend.
Oh, my
You thought he was
God.
your friend, didn't you, Patty?
Yep, it's gone.
Thanks,
Right,
Big Red.
I'll tell you what mine is then. I have been looking to buy a Manundi, but I want one of the older version ones that you can open one finger, because the newer ones they've rounded off the edges of the nail click. There's another new one. The nail nick.
Put it in the talk box, Matt.
The nail nick on the older Manundis were very sharp, and you could just open them one-handed. Whereas the new ones, they've rounded it all over, and it makes it
Oh,
nearly
my gosh.
impossible.
Thank you, Mike. Mike
Yep,
Curtis just donated $10. Thank you so much, Mike. That's awesome.
So if anybody out there's got a
Father's Day,
Manundi at a reasonable price, or a trade specifically would be better, I would like an Manundi.
A what, Stephen?
Manundi.
Nundy.
That was the African blood in me.
You know, the one with the nail click.
Yeah.
We're gonna get canceled.
Yeah, but it's all right. I've got a black grandchild, so I gave her some of my blood.
I heard.
Yeah, it's still going to get cancelled.
There's some of my blood
It
in
wasn't on account of you, though. I promise you.
there.
Save us, Tom. What do you got there?
Well, we're talking about secondhand knives for one, so click that box. And to seriously answer Patty's question, this is a Marbles woodsman's knife, and it's from 1915, a year before they got their patent approved.
Save us,
And you
Tom.
can see it's a very short handle there. It's stag with leather wrapping around the stag. But the one knife I have been looking for that I hopefully can get at somewhat of a reasonable cost is I would like to get one of the very early Marbles Ideal knives, because the Ideal knife set the standard for all modern hunting knives. And again, you know, Marbles was the first to come out with the stacked leather handles. So to seriously answer your question, I would love to find one of the early Marbles Ideal knives.
I think you have to fix the tip on that first.
You know what? I've been going back and forth, and on my video, I had people leave comments on what I should do with the knife, and I think we're going to leave it as is. This is, like I said, this is a special one because it's probably the first year it was made, because it's got its stamp patent pending. So I do not want to do anything that's going to alter any of the blade shape or any on it. I want to leave it as is.
You have the right to be wrong, Thomas. I always say that. You have the right to be wrong.
I have
you're
the right
the right to your own opinion. It's just a shame your opinion is wrong.
We exercise that opinion often on our show.
Yeah.
Especially directed against me, I have to say.
Oh no,
I was getting ready to get snacks ready for snack time, but I'm not sure I'm going to do it today.
Okay. Did you want to save us too, John? You're looking intently at your mat.
I can't save this thing. This is unsavable.
It's too far gone.
Yeah. Salvageable.
Oh, we have a comment alert. Go ahead.
Yep,
Tom.
Byron Kennedy there with a super chat, $10,
Yes,
and he says, and this is for Junior and Miss Tammy to make the trip too. There you go, Patty.
The whole family's coming, Patty.
The whole family's coming.
Isn't this the second time we've nearly killed Patty on a live stream?
Junior's
Oh, I
packing
need
his
to
bags.
stick a pin in my eye.
I'm feeling a wee bit Irish today.
Gary asks if there is a sheath with that knife, Tom. That you were
No,
showing.
unfortunately, it did not come with the sheath.
If only we knew somebody that did leather work.
I know it.
We know lots of people. If you guys need leather, there's Richter Knives, Jo Ventures, Georgia Adventurer. All three of those guys are making fantastic leather slips, leather sheaths, all kinds of leather goods. So definitely hit those guys up if you need something for one of your knives.
I think the nice thing about that is they all do different types of leather work. Yeah. They're all different in their own ways. And that's just amazing to have three people in this wee community alone. Do you know what I mean? It's fantastic.
You're right, Michael. We do have a leather guy right here on the show, but he said he's not selling them. So that's why we didn't point anybody his way. Although I guess they could talk to you. Maybe Joe would do something. All right, we have a shameless plug. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, while we're talking about Craftsman, let's not forget about North Star Knife Reviews. He takes knife blanks and builds beautiful wood handles for them. And yes. North Star is over 900, working on his 1,000. So everyone head over to North Star Knife Reviews also. But today's shameless plug is for RJ's Regiment. If you're not a member, why, please click on that button there. I think it's just, where do they have that there? They got a button in there.
Well, there's if you go to YouTube, there's a link to join the channel. And then also there's a link in the description box of my videos as well.
There was, that's what I was looking for, description box. You'll also find about RJ's Spring Store, where you can buy water bottles and mugs, shirts and hoodies. He also has a link to American Buffalo Knife and Tool. where you can purchase Roper knives, among other products. Use code RJS and receive a 20% discount. He also has affiliate links with Sharper Edges, which sells Elk Ridge amongst other brands of knives. And you can also purchase Schrade, Old Timer, Uncle Henry, and Imperial knives in the United Kingdom at blades.co.uk. And I also want to mention that Thrifty Knifty has a commando club. So head on over to Thrifty's on one of his videos, and you'll be able to join his commando club. I recently joined, and it was an oversight on my part. I should have joined long ago. And I want to mention that Slippy has started a Discord account. I'll let Slippy put the information in the talk box there for anyone interested in joining the Discord. And just a reminder, you can keep up with MesserHQ on his Instagram account, MesserHQ.
Oh, very nice,
Good
Elf
God,
Phoenix.
this is the video I was watching, I'd be gone.
Now that's something that Tom can get behind, Elf Phoenix. His kids surprised him with a box filled with his favorite snacks, and Tom is our resident snacker. That's for sure.
Yep, I was thinking about pudding for today.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And were you gonna offer us to choose which flavor you're gonna have today?
Yes, you can either have butterscotch or butterscotch.
Okay, which one?
I'm fancying butterscotch.
Okay. Joe, they complained I would have like donuts and stuff, and they said that they were stale and smashed up by the time they got them, and they wouldn't eat them. So I got the little snack packs, and it should be okay by the time you get it.
Oh, okay.
Plenty of.
How come my channel never got a plug?
Let's see.
You
if
don't need
anybody wants to hear a lovely
Here's a
Irish
plug.
accent and
Join-
look at a bunch of beautiful, beautiful knives, be sure to go see Patty's Potato Peelers. The finest
It's
knife
all the
reviewer.
special things I do. All my special things never got mentioned.
Okay, let's talk about your special things.
I don't do any.
Okay.
None.
If you want the
Yeah, you
the
do.
finest knife reviews and
Got
sharpening techniques and stuff, all the way from Northern Ireland, then definitely
You
definitely
got
Well,
the
get and see Patty.
you got the second finest sidekick in all the YouTube land.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of him. I think I've got to change him.
The second finest.
That's right.
I've had to hire all my chairs now so we can sit up to the video.
Jeez.
I had a separate shameless plug just for you, Patty,
No.
but not now.
Well, I think with Patty's channel, it's what you see is what you get, nothing extra.
Yeah, nothing more.
And if you don't like it, move on. Get off my lawn.
If you don't like it, tough.
Yeah.
Here's a question for Joe. What is your favorite brand that you actually like to do a video on, do research on, do a video? What brand excites you the most to do videos on? Excuse me.
Well, I always like doing Great Eastern Cutlery videos just because I really like the company and I really like the knives and I could really get behind it and I really, got excited about making videos about Great Eastern Cutlery. There are several companies that I follow. I couldn't think of just a single company that I would like to do a video or research on. I really like doing the research on the German knives. I have a pretty large vintage German collection. That's always fun for me because I get to pick through a lot of documents that, I shouldn't say a lot because there's not a lot of documents that exist, after the Second World War on these old knife companies and stuff. But it is fun and challenging to pick through and go on the German knife forums and stuff and try to find out, as much information I can about some of these patterns before I would go on and talk about them on a video. I think I made the very first English video on the 3-rivet knife. There were a couple other German videos up at the time, but that was a really fun video to make. And I know that video got a big pop, but a lot of people bought that knife and liked that knife, and I thought it was really cool because I feel like I was able to introduce a cool German company to a lot of people that wouldn't necessarily have heard about them otherwise. So, yeah, the German brands I really like, and just British and Cutlery, and there are a couple other, I always like the Benchmades and the Spydercos. I also like the modern stuff. I just like really good quality. I don't mind paying a little bit more for a knife. I just want to know that it's really good quality. And those are the knives that I like buying, and those were the knives that I liked, doing videos.
Okay. Dutch Knife Guy had a comment that I thought was pretty good. Does everybody want to shout out one channel that they think deserves it? And we'll start with you, Joe, since you're our guest today. What one channel would you like to shout out today?
Yeah, well, first I have to apologize because I'm really not up to date with all the new channels on YouTube. I really haven't been following. I'll stick with Michael Richter. Like I said, I've known him, before he started his YouTube. I was really excited to see him start a YouTube, and I see that he's doing really well with his YouTube channel and his leatherworking. And like I said before, he is, I think, 950 subs. I think we said, so it'd be really cool to push him over the edge.
Yeah, let's see if we can get him.
So yeah, it's great to see him. He's become a good friend of mine. We talk a lot on Instagram and stuff. So yeah, if you guys aren't following him, I think you guys would really enjoy his content, because I really enjoy his content.
I agree. How about you, Patty? Anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I've got a person. I gave him a shout out once, but this person, Joe, would probably really like his channel, and Tom. He's a great boy for getting into the details, and he'll try and find as much information as possible. Most of his knives are secondhand, but he likes all sorts. But most of them are older secondhand knives, and he does some fantastic research. And he's called Rasputin's Castle. I don't know whether anybody ever went to him. He's a lovely gent. He's around our age, but he has a great collection of older knives that he does a lot of research on. And I could listen to him for hours just talking. And he makes videos where he maybe have, like the last one he done there was about 40 knives on the table, and it was about the covers you can get in traditional knives. And he sort of a mixed pattern of covers and just meanders through them. He's got, I really do think he's not getting enough subs for the work that he's putting in. Do you know what I mean? And I'd love to get him. Rasputin's Castle. If one of you boys could put it up there, maybe on the talk box.
In the talk box, yeah, we'll see if we can do that.
I can look for it.
Yeah. Our age, you gonna let that one go, Slippy? Says
really
Judd.
Fella.
I just let it slide, Judd. I know I'm grouped in with these old guys. I just have to deal with it now.
Well, how about you, Matt? What one channel do you want to shout out?
There's about 4 or 5, I think, that I think really deserve it. But recently, I know Sussex EDC has been putting in a lot of work with his channel. He's got a load of stuff like ready, recorded to go, and he's sort of getting his feet firmly on the ground. So definitely him, Sussex EDC. If you haven't checked out his stuff, go and look at his channel. He doesn't just do knives; he does EDC gear as well. So anyone that's into that sort of stuff, go check him out.
Nice fella too, just a nice fella.
Yep. Okay, Tom, you're up. What channel do you want to give a shout out to?
The one channel that really gets overlooked a lot. The guy's really shy. He's not very boisterous, and so I don't think he gets a lot of attention. But he has a really great accent, and his name is Patty. And no. I just happen to think of Warthog. I haven't shouted out Warthog probably near enough. Not only does he have a wonderful channel, but he has such serious health issues that he battles on a daily basis, and yet he still seems to be the happiest, cheeriest guy, and he just brings a smile to my face when I watch his videos. And he has such a great collection of old slip joint traditional knives. So yes, I guess I'd have to go with Warthog.
Very good.
I could second that. And I actually have a knife that I got from Warthog that I could show you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, because I liked that knife too.
Oh, that was
Go ahead.
Wasn't that
go, John,
you done with him?
I'm sorry?
Was that a trade you done with him? I can remember you doing a trade with him.
We did a trade. I had a
Oh,
man, my brain. I can't remember the covers. What's on it? Someone write in the comments what my Sportmaster covers are for Manufactum. I think it's some kind of horn. It's Zebu horn. Zebu horn is the covers.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this one is it's only available through this German company, this German store called Manufactum. And I saw it when I was in there. There's a Manufactum in Munich, and I was in there, I don't know, years ago. That's where I found mine. And I looked into it, researched it, and I realized that you can only get it there. And it's a really, really cool looking knife. And since I got it and made a video on it, lots of people wrote me and wanted one of these. And I actually helped Zen Ali still pop in around here.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I helped him get one. I went to the store and handpicked it for him. I sent him pictures, and yeah, we got him one. And I had gotten a second one. I had found one, and I picked it up, and I just had two of them. And I mentioned it in the video, and Rick said, Joe, I'd really like to have that knife. You want to trade it? And I said, yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't see why not. And I didn't know what I wanted for it. He asked me what I wanted for it. And I knew that he had a big collection of traditionals. I knew he had a lot of queen knives. And I just asked him if he had a rail splitter, because the rail splitter is a pattern that I really wanted for a long time. Well, he didn't respond to me right away. The next day, I got a note from him with an eBay link to this knife right here. And he said, hey, I bought you this knife. I hope it's okay. And this is a queen rail splitter.
Stunning.
Buffalo horn.
That's beautiful.
One of my favorite knives. I carry it all the time. I'll open it up for you guys so you guys can see what it's all about. But it's basically just a big, fat, beefy, overbuilt kind of Stockman ordeal. It's on a surveyor frame, very unique frame. But the whole knife is just overbuilt.
That's just awesome.
It's in D2. Queen was known for doing D2. So I was able to get that. I sent him a video going through the detail on the knife, and he really liked it. Yeah, he bought me this knife, and we did a trade. We both got videos out of it. We both got knives we really like out of it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
So all it was a good deal.
I think that was the first real splitter I'd ever actually seen.
I know that when I saw it, I immediately thought I need to get one of those.
It's a great pattern. I mean, it's right up there with me with the Fremont Jack. I mean, the rail splitter. I hope DEC comes out with it. I was talking to you guys beforehand. I saw the 2023 Blade Show knife. It's kind of like, from first glance, it looks like a Norfolk pattern to me, but it looks like if they flipped that handle, they could make a rail splitter in the next couple of years. So I hope so. I mean, I don't know. I have no information, but I just hope so.
No, GEC are very hard to predict what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Well, not really, Stephen. GEC is rather very predictable. They make a really cool knife. They only make a limited number of them. They do a drop, and you can't get one. So,
I'll be really honest. I think this past year has probably been, for me, there's been very few I've actually wanted. No, I'm at the limit of what I want to keep, because I like other collection as well. So it's one in, one out at the minute. But this year I found very few. There hasn't been a lot that have really struck me.
That's a concept.
Same for me. That's the knives I've gone for.
I don't understand that concept. One in, one out. What is that? I don't get it.
It's strange.
My concept's normally 1 in, 3 in, 4 in, 5 in. Yeah.
But I think it's actually easier if people over here in the UK, it's actually easier for us to get a GEC at a reasonable price rather than it is you in America in the second-hand market. I can buy mine cheaper here than I can do from America.
Agreed.
And that to me is baffling. And everybody over here complains they can't get a GEC. And when I put one up for sale on Instagram, nobody wants it. It just sits there. I never managed to sell one. Well, I sold a few on different sites, but when you put it up on a main site, nobody seems. All the ones who complain seem to be off that day.
All right, John. Well, we'll go back to you. Did you have a channel you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, I do. it's kind of hard to just pick one. There's been a boon of channels lately that have really started to show traditional knives. Of course, Matt mentioned one in Sussex, EDC. There's been probably 5 or 6 that I could name. But I want to name one that's been around a little longer than he's about 465 subs. And that would be Singing Toad. He's up in Canada. Really, really nice fella. Really friendly. Always has nice things to say about everybody. And he's getting more and more kind of interested, I think, in the traditional stuff. He's still exploring that. He's not that confident in himself with that stuff right now, but he's learning, from us, and we're encouraging him to continue in that realm and keep exploring more and more traditional patterns. So I just want to give a big shout out to Singing Toad then. So Dave, by the way, is his name.
Excellent choice, John. Excellent choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's recently just got himself a canoe. He's done a review on a Rough Rider. Was it Classic Carbon 2, I think, canoe?
Yeah.
But he just started getting a few Barlows. He's got Buck 301, I think it is. But he's sort of coming this way after like a modern. He's mainly a modern guy, isn't he? Really, but he's got some traditionals coming in. And he's really good content as well. He's nice, soft spoken. It's really relaxing to watch.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I love watching somebody who's just coming into traditionals and then watching them grow and that passion grow. And it is just the most wonderful. I don't sort of see it in the new knives because everybody's got the same new knives. When you come into traditionals, there's such a wide variety that people, can go so far away from each other. I love watching somebody grow to love the traditional.
And I think that's part of the topic for today too, is with the secondhand knives. The older knife companies that may no longer exist, and just the many choices that you have in the traditional market. But for channels, I'm going to go back to the top of the show. Doom Crew Outdoors. He's getting close to 1,000, and he's got a really interesting channel. If you like case knives, he shows lots of them. If you like shotguns, he shows a lot of those too, and they're really cool. So go ahead and give him a sub if you haven't checked out Doom Crew Outdoors. I think you guys would definitely enjoy his channel. I know I do. So let's see if we can get him and Richter up over the 1,000 sub barrier this week. It'd be great if we could do it today, but I don't know. But we'll try and we'll see. Okay.
There was a lovely fella on the show last night on the two boys, Jerry and the
Dog
Grunt. Yeah,
the Dog Grunt. He's a lovely fella. So I wasn't sub to him, but he has that passion in him. He's just a really nice fella. I went and watched a couple of his videos last night. Really worth a watch.
Oh yeah.
He's a knife thrower, and he takes all his knives out, and he has in his back garden he has knife throwing blocks up, and let me tell you, he is a bit of an expert at it.
Yeah, that's true. He really is. All right. Well, then, anything? What topic do we want to go back to the topic? Did somebody else have something to say? I think there was something I might have missed in the chat. I don't know if there was another question or not, but let's keep this thing going. One knife, I'll show this one that was kind of a grail for me this last year, and it's also relevant to Father's Day, was when I found this case trapper that reminded me of my dad. And this is the Dale Earnhardt commemorative case trapper. And I thought this was a super cool knife. I'd never seen a shield like this with just the 3 on it. Just really, really awesome. And it brought back lots of good memories for me of my dad who passed several years ago. So it's just something that was really a kind of a cool deal. I saw that on Instagram, and then the hunt was on. Yes, Gary, that's NASCAR. And for you guys in Europe, yes, that's the one that's like where they're racing taxis. Yeah.
And they just go left.
And they go around in circles. Yes.
Yeah.
Unless it's on a road course. They do have road courses.
I was trying to explain NASCAR to Junior the other day, and he didn't quite get it.
Me and Junior have a lot in
Junior, you
common.
should know it inherently.
Over here, we call that stock car racing.
Right.
That's what we call here, stock car. Yeah.
Yeah, but they just bash each other on purpose over here. It's much more fun.
We have those too. They
We
call
do
that
that
a
too.
demolition derby.
Yeah, demolition derby. Yeah.
And those are fun to watch too.
Come on, Joe, show us another knife. Give us another knife that's in your collection.
All right, yeah, I brought a whole table over here. So let me see. I've already a couple. All right, I'm gonna go to the most recent knife that I got. This is a custom knife.
Oh, I like it already. That handle.
This is from Block Handcrafted Knives. He's a good buddy of mine. You got spalted elm handle. I believe the bolster, it's called Corian.
Yeah.
Carbon pins. It's got orange vulcanized paper liners. And the cool thing about this is he gave it to me. I was at a knife show with him last month. The knife show was in Solingen. We rented an apartment in the town next to it, Wuppertal. There were 9 of us, and this was Saturday after the show. We'd gotten back from the show, and the best part about this apartment was the kitchen was huge, and it had a huge kitchen table. It could fit all of us around it. And after we got back from the show, just everyone had all their loot from the show, just out on the table, plus everyone's knife that they brought, just for show and tell and whatever. And I came in the room, and I saw this one, and I recognized Patrick's style right away. And I just picked it up, and I said, "Ooh, Block Handcrafted Knives." And he immediately said, "Do you want it?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "You can have it. It's yours." And I said, "What's the catch?" Well, I flipped it over. It turns out that he had made this for a show. He brought it to 2 years beforehand. After the show, he had left it in a backpack. They got stored under who knows what kind of conditions. And this knife was just completely rusted out. I took it out of the sheath. It was just thick, reddish, brownish, crusty rust. So I took it home and I cleaned it up. Shined it up as good as I could, and I think it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, that's good.
It's $10.95 on the blades, so you can imagine. Yeah, he said he was practicing recurves. Yeah, so I got this knife from Patrick, and Patrick's become a good friend of mine. I met Patrick at a knife show. I was hanging out with another one of my friends. I believe he's here in the chat, Mark, Dutch Knife Guy, and Mark was working at QSP. At the time, he was the European representative for QSP, and I was there in the Netherlands just basically to hang out with Mark, and I was hanging out with him behind the QSP stand, and Patrick's booth was just kind of catty-cornered right next to Mark, so that's just how I met him, just by circumstance. And we got to chatting. We talked the whole day. I ended up buying a knife off of him, and now I guess you could say I have a little bit of a man crush on Block.
Don't talk to Patty about man crushes. This is
every single one of my kitchen knives is done by that man. I have 3 fixed blades by him. I have a couple other ones that he gave me. Here's another one.
Oh, beautiful!
That's nice.
Little mini one. And the story behind this one, this is the result of him making another knife. I wrote this steel down because he told me, and I knew I was going to forget. It's a San Mai steel. It's a 125 SC with a stainless steel cladding. And the story is that he made another knife with this, and it was just a really expensive piece of steel, and he had a piece about that long left over, and he made this little knife for himself, and it was just his knife. And I had bought a knife off of him, and I don't even think I got it. This was just in the package. He just sent this over as a free gift. So it's really cool. It's in my display case. It's going to be in my collection forever. It's just
what is that handle material? That's really cool. That like honeycomb pattern that he's got in it.
I believe he called it honeycomb acrylic, and I believe he also made it himself. And I'm not sure if he's here. He told me he was going to stop by, but if he's in the comments, maybe he could
That is so cool.
Answer a
That
little
is
bit
a
more.
wee jet knife.
Yeah, there's one more that he gave me in the same time, little Kiridashi.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he forged the Damascus himself. So he's a very talented man. I promoted him as much as I could on my show for good reason. I mean, I use his knives on a daily basis in my kitchen. I think he makes a really great knife. And like I said, he's just a really close friend of mine, and I had a great time with him at the Solian show. And if you guys don't know about Patrick Block Handcrafted Knives, I think you should.
Yeah, thank you. We do need to know about that.
So, yeah.
All right. And who would like to show something next?
I got something.
All right.
Shown this before, but the topic today was supposed to be knives that we got secondhand, and I got this secondhand from my father-in-law, and that being Father's Day today, this is a pretty special knife. He's actually going to be 9 years old, and he's going to be having heart surgery. So my my thoughts are with him right now, especially today. So shout out to Ray, my father-in-law. Thinking about you, buddy. Hang in there. Hope everything goes okay.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. We'll certainly put Ray in our prayers for sure. He'll get a good recovery, a good outcome for his heart surgery.
I've got one for Joe to see if he can help me aging it.
Okay.
This is one I just got recently now because it's pretty oil thick here. Sorry. This is a Boker.
Yeah.
I don't know whether Joe has got any experience on what age it is. It's in the saw cut Delrin. Well, I think it's it is.
I used to have one of those. I can tell you, I couldn't tell you a date off the top of my head, but I could find the date out for you and let you know later.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. I'm not so much tied down to date, but roughly, a decade is good enough for me. Do you know what I mean? That's not. I wouldn't be that.
Maybe someone could come in the comments. I'm not with the Boker Barlows. Those were Boker USA made Barlows, I believe, with the big tree on the bolster. Maybe someone can let us know the date ranges those were made. I believe they go back to the 50s or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah. It's a 493. What does it say? It doesn't say anything on it. Main blade. What's it saying this one? Just says 493 on the main blade. That's not normally what American ones have. They usually have Boker USA. This one just has 493. So it's unusual. I just haven't seen it.
Need to borrow this, Patty?
No, mine's sitting there.
Okay.
That's when I need the 2 pair of glasses. I have to get the big one out with these.
You could send me a picture of the tank stamp. They have a Boker tank stamp chart. I got it around here somewhere, and we could find a date range. They're never very accurate, but it'll be within a 10, 15-year period.
Absolutely brilliant. Thanks, Joe. I just got this year secondhand, and it was in a bit of a state when I got it, and I've cleaned it up roughly. But I don't want to go any further because it's such a nice knife to have in the collection, because I am a Barlow freak.
Yeah, speaking of Barlow's, Ground Fog had a question. He wanted to know if the Saber Barlows are rare, and I don't know how rare they are. I know that they were made in a couple of different countries. When I did research on, I had a Saber Trapper.
John has one there, RJ.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one. Do you guys know how rare those might be or how common they might be?
They're pretty common.
Yeah, I figured they were.
I think, is it Taiwan that the really good ones came from?
Japan.
Japan,
yeah. I knew it was somewhere out there. Japan, the really good ones came from.
Yeah, I mean, they made a lot of Barlows, but the earlier ones with the wood, the bone handles are going to be the ones the most sought
Yeah.
after. But
That's lovely.
Yeah, because they had a couple of different iterations of it. I know that when I was researching this saber trapper that I got, that for mine is a 3-number knife,
right,
but they had the 2-number knives, 1-number knives,
Right.
and no number knives.
right,
So by the time you get to the 3-number knives, they were certainly the later ones. This is made in Japan, but so it's depends on that. There was a pretty good article online, so if you research saber knives, I got a lot of information from that. Did you want to show that again,
well, I
John?
just got the blades opened up, so
Sure. I'll let everybody take a look at that.
Nice
I've actually-
full blade.
yeah, I've actually bought a couple of them.
Does that have saber on the bolster?
Yeah, on one side it says saber, and then it's upside down, but yeah, idiot. Other side,
Yeah, that's saber, John.
yeah, and then
That's nice saber.
it says Barlow on the other side. Come on, light. It's there. You can just barely see it. So yeah, it doesn't say the same thing on both sides, but the bone ones, I picked up a couple of them. They're not. I wouldn't say they're hard to find, but they're harder to find than the more recent ones with the plastic handles and the.
Yeah, because there was probably less production, back then as well. That's the thing, is that you just have to remember, that these are all from the 60s and 70s and 80s, and so finding surviving copies that are in halfway decent condition, it's getting tougher and tougher to find knives of that era.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing when you're looking for secondhand knives. It's take
Right.
your time. Don't buy the first one that comes to you if it's in bad condition. Wait, because one will come hopefully eventually. And otherwise, you get a collection of knives that you're still looking for after you've got what you really want, but it's in bad condition. You're going to look again for another one that's in better condition. So just wait.
Yep.
And like I got that beautiful case that had never been used. That case knife secondhand this week for £35. It's brand new. I mean, for that copperhead, that's a fantastic price to pay for a knife of that quality.
I'm sorry, RJ, I wasn't paying attention, but about Patty, what did you say about don't get the first one, pass over it, and wait for a better one or something? Were you talking about wives?
Oh yeah, I've done that too. It always keeps the second and third on her toes.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, she can't hear me.
But she can hear the recording.
No, she'll never watch that. Never in a month of Sundays.
Oh boy. Okay, so who's next? Who's got something?
Well, I just want to briefly talk about this for a moment because I mentioned this on one of my previous videos about how I was kind of disappointed in the coloring that they put on this. This is the Rosecraft Blades Lusahatchee Jack, and I don't know, I guess a poor example. It was really splotchy with the coloring, and so I've just kind of removed all the dark coloring on there. I just want to kind of give you guys an update on that, the ones that were interested in what I was doing with it, and it was coming off on its own just with handling it. So
What did
I don't
you
know.
use to take it off?
Well, I have this degreaser that works pretty well. It
Okay.
didn't really take much though, kind of coming off on its own really. But just a few swipes of that and a little rub. And so now it's pretty much just orange with texture. So
I'll give you a little tip, John, that I done on one of my knives. It's a case knife, and it's the stag bone.
yeah.
See that one there?
Yeah.
That side, this side of the knife was absolutely beautiful when it came. That's just gorgeous. But the other side was next to nothing on it. There was, it was just literally white with a couple of tiny wee bits on it.
Yeah.
I actually used one of the black markers, the Sharpies,
Let's hear.
and I put a layer on, let it dry, put another layer on, let it dry, and then I got a cloth rubbed off, and what was coming off came off, and then put another layer on, and then rubbed it, and I've just done it randomly over it, and it stayed like that for a year now.
Yeah.
So, I could have left it, but I actually really do prefer it. It doesn't look any different, really. Than that one's a darker black, but it makes the knife better looking in my eyes, anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree. Well, don't be shy, guys.
I got another one.
I have.
I got a whole table over here.
I know. Let's
go?
go ahead and see some more good stuff from Joe.
Absolutely.
Here's my Benchmade 940.
Oh, there
Yes,
you
sir.
go.
This used to be Dutch Knife Guy's Benchmade 940. It used to be his favorite knife. And this is the knife that I used. I don't know if you guys remember. I used to do a series called Clone Wars, and I did a video where I compared, the fake Chinese Benchmade 940 with the original. And this was the original knife that was in the video. There were actually two. The other one was Patty's knife.
Yeah.
And I really liked that knife, and I wanted one of those two knives. I remember writing Patty and asking him if I could buy his, and no, that's my Grail knife. It wasn't for sale. And it was the same story with Mark. Mark, the 940 was his favorite collection. The first time I visited him in the Netherlands, you walk in and he just had every single one like ever made on display. The gold class, the special editions, everything. And he, I asked him the first time I went up there and met him, it wasn't for sale. I asked him the second time, it wasn't for sale. Then he came to see me. We were talking about some knives I should bring. If I wanted to buy one, I said, "What about that 940?" He said, "You know what? I think I'll sell it to you this time." We actually sell it to me. He traded it to me. I think he got a GEC 92 in Stag. He wanted a traditional knife, so I gave him a really nice one. And yeah, he gave it to me in brand new condition. You guys can see the patina I've been able to put on up until now.
You've used it a little bit.
Yeah, but that was my best performing video. I was really proud of that video. It had 128,000 views compared to some of my videos that were getting under 1,000 views at that time. It was really a shock to see how many views that video got.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dutch Knife Guy, he's become a good friend of me. Like I said, I visited him a few times. He's visited me. We met in the middle last month to go to the Soligan show together. I've gotten a lot of knives. I can go in the other room, probably pull out 20 more of them that I gotten off the man. But I got a couple here. Knives that I wouldn't even think about, buying myself. Sometimes I'll just get a package in the mail, and Mark has sent me something else. He's been a good a friend as anyone can ask for in this community. I met him through YouTube. I don't know if you guys know that, but he used to have a YouTube video. I don't know if his videos are still up.
I haven't seen them for ages.
To look, but here's another one. This is the Real Steel Megalodon 2017 full titanium. He's like a modern guy, so I'm not going to get a bunch of traditionals from him. But I appreciate these knives too. And when I go and visit him, he has the same knives, and I sit there and click them open and close, and I see what I like, and I always leave with a couple every time I meet the man. So he's bad for the wallet, but he's been a really good friend. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm really hoping to meet some nice people on YouTube, sometime.
Yeah, Dutch Knife Guy says he's more active on Instagram. So
yeah, I don't think he's made a YouTube video in years.
Yeah.
But he was the Zach before Zach was the Zach on the Benchmade. he had all the Benchmade Osborne knives before Zach came on the YouTube and sort of took over that mantle.
Possibly he inspired Zach.
Yeah,
which would be very cool.
Yeah, his collection, the Dutch guys have got it worked out to a science. They have this knife club that they pull 50, 60 people every single time they meet. Every single time they have a club meeting, you might as well call it a knife show. They're just tables set up knives everywhere. I don't know if you guys have seen pictures of them on Instagram, but they are professional. They are legit. They do it right.
I'm definitely going to give him a follow on Instagram because I want to see all that stuff for sure.
But
Yeah, he's
going
really
back,
into air guns too. I don't know if any of you guys are into air guns, but he's gotten into air guns. Some of the guns that he's showing me like cost thousands of euros, and they're so powerful.
Yeah.
But yeah, check them out definitely.
Yeah, air guns are definitely cool. I like those too.
So the rats in my yard. Tree rats.
Tree rats. Neighbor's kids.
nice scrap of tea wrap. Oh, gorgeous.
Where
There
did
you
Tom
go.
go?
Follow. I don't know where Tom went. It's either snack time or
Oh,
Tammy grabbed him.
I
or
am getting hungry. I might actually take him up on one of those.
maybe Junior's in the other room. I don't know. So there's Dutch Knife Guy says there's the name of their club, so you can follow them on Instagram there.
I remember they used to have meetups in people's houses. That same crowd of boys, and they just have a big table in the center of the house, and they'd all put 6 or 7 knives down, and then just go round the table. And boy, you used to see some fantastic knives around that table.
Yeah,
and every knife there is a premium quality blade.
It's funny. I don't know where, because YouTube is this habit of taking people off you. If you don't watch a video for so long, they take them off as your subs, and I don't know. There's a ton of people I would love to see again, but they just don't seem to be making. But YouTube seems to be like that. People stay on a certain amount of time, and then they disappear.
Yeah, it's true.
And then they reappear.
And then they reappear, just like Tom. Where'd you go, Tom?
Sometimes in women's clothing.
Sometimes.
Tom.
Sometimes in overalls.
Tom was a lumberjack. It comes naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Come on then, Joe. Give us something else out there.
Yeah. Joe has some great stuff there.
Give us some of your favorite modern knives.
Well, I don't have a lot of modern knives out here. I'd say the 940 is definitely one of my favorite modern knives, and I'm kind of embarrassed because I just realized that this is the knife that I carried to work with the other day, the PM3, and I didn't clean it, so you guys will have to excuse that.
It's okay.
Got some gunk on the blade. But yeah, I had a PM2 before. I got this from a local guy. He lives probably about a half hour from me. I think he followed me on my YouTube channel. We got talking on Instagram, and he lives right outside of Munich. And he just had this thirst for knowledge. He was always writing me, picking my brain, and always wanting to try like new patterns. And we did a lot of trades. He had a bunch of knives he wanted to trade me, and I would trade with him. And this is just one of the knives that he had. I don't know what we actually traded for him. He probably got a few knives out of the deal. But I have to say, I really do enjoy this knife. It's very, fidget friendly. I can sit here and just click it open all day long. It's very smooth. It's very lightweight. I know it has the G10 version, but I like this version better just because I like the clip. I think if I got the G10 version to be happy with it, I'd have to buy the extra clip. So that's kind of annoying. And yeah, I'm perfectly happy with this. I bring this knife with me when I go mountain biking or on like a long hike or something like that, just because it weighs nothing and it's a perfectly capable knife to do anything that I'm going to need to do. So yeah, I really like the PM3. I like the PM2 as well. I really like Wee knives. I like more the earlier Wee knives. I went and saw, like I said, the Dutch guys in 2018 was the first time I went up there. And one of the guys I met up there was a guy named Hank, and he was like the European representative for Wee knives. And he had a table full of just every single model from the first 2 years. And I got to sit there and handle the knives. And, from my perspective, I didn't have so much experience with, titanium frame locks. But from my perspective, these were the best quality knives that I had ever, production knives, I should say, that I had ever, handled. And I have a few of them here. They're all from the first year. I can maybe show you the 601. And I just think as far as quality and fit and finish and attention to detail on the milling, on the inside and everything, and just the action on these knives, they're just insane. And We Knives was doing stuff with knives that I really liked. They were really taking chances. You can see here with the blade grinds, they were always doing this really innovative stuff that I just really was just drawn to. They had these crazy blades. I had Sabenzas, I had Spydercos, I had Benchmades, but they just kept on coming out with the same kind of stuff, just in different steels. And these guys came out and they were really doing something new, and I was really drawn to that. And I have a few of them here. Yeah, I can recommend them. They are perfectly fine knives. I think they retailed for around $300 when they first came out. Resale values on these Chinese titanium front locks isn't all that great. You can find these much cheaper. I believe I paid only $150 for this one. And you're getting premium materials. I mean, this one's S35 VN, I believe. Some of the ones from the second year, I think they switched to M390, but the first year We Knives, they were great. I don't have a lot of them, but I really do enjoy looking for those. I think they do great stuff now. They did one knife that came out that was like a flipper, or not a flipper, but kind of a mix between a knife and a push dagger. And I just thought it was the coolest thing, because like a lot of companies just aren't pushing the boundaries, I feel, like We Knives.
They were like the posh cold steel for a while there. They were coming up with wacky knives, strange shapes, colors. Some
of them are futuristic for me. Some of them are way out there. But some of them are just really good, high quality knives with just a little bit of flash, I think.
Yeah. I got this week. I forgot to mention.
Yeah, I don't really collect any other modern knives. I've got some Spydercos in the other room. I've got some other Benchmades. Yeah, but that's it. The majority of my collection is focused on the traditional knives.
Yeah, I forgot to say I got this week. I've wanted this blade steel for ages, but I wouldn't pay the money because I'm tight. It's this Maximate. And this is the Spyderco Sage. This is the Sage 1 with the liner lock. An absolutely beautiful knife in Maximate, and it's got a good sized blade on it as well, that leaf shape. I like the fact that it's not high up here. I can just set my thumb here and you're locked in, but it's got the wire clip. But I actually like this wire clip. It disappears. I'm not really a lover of wire clips, but this one does disappear. But it's a really nice. I'm dying to get this into doing some hard tasks to see just what the Maximate's like. Thank you, Shooter. So yeah, pleased to get that this week, I have to say. Me and wee Judd done a swap, so didn't cost anything. If you swap a knife, it doesn't cost anything.
That's true.
Except for the knife that you swap.
No, it's all lies. All lies.
So back on the topic of old knives, I have a secondhand old knife, if you want to see that.
Of course.
So this is one I picked up maybe about a month ago. It's an old sort of case fish knife. It's got the hook sharpener there instead of the shield. Pretty good condition, to be honest. I believe it's a 60s model from the Tang stamp. I don't know why that's backwards. Let's see if we can sort that out.
Oh, that's fine.
It's fine.
There we go. There we go.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe it's a 60s from the Tang stamp, but it's got all the information on the one Tang rather than being on multiple. Really nice sort of long clip point on it. And like the walk and talk on it, it's still brilliant for such an old knife as well. Nice snap, and you get the scaler and the hook there with the cap lifter. I believe that's the pattern number on there, 32095.
Yeah.
I managed to pick this up in the UK. I think I paid about £30 for it, so I pretty much had to snap it up as soon as I found it. because that's an absolute bargain for an older knife, especially an older case knife. It's in the yellow synthetic. There is a couple of cracks on the scales, but I mean, for the age, it's literally just those two tiny cracks there.
Yeah.
But this is one I picked up. I just thought, I had to pretty much go for it when I saw it. There was no sort of like, oh, should I get it or not? Because knowing my luck, someone would have snapped it up straight away. But this is another one of my sort of secondhand ones. Been sort of big on secondhand the last sort of 6 months. I've had quite a few actually come in. I picked a selection out for today. I've got quite a few up here to show. But there's another one for now. Nice old case fish knife.
Can I just pick you up on one wee thing there?
Yeah.
The 60s does not make it old. It's middle-aged.
Right. For me, it makes it old. I am less than half your age. It makes it old.
That means
Well,
you're
that's why we
doubling
have you
old.
there, so
Patty.
you can give us the young man's perspective on the traditional knives.
The young man's perspective. Yeah, sure. So this is an ancient case fish knife I picked up.
Dear.
Don't worry about it, Matt. As Patty always says, if you can remember the 60s, you weren't there. What do you got there, Tom?
Well, I think I've shown this one before, but this is a single-bladed, equal-ended Imperial jackknife. Secondhand, of course, from an antique store. This one is kind of unique because the tang stamp, and you probably won't be able to see it, so I kind of did it this way. But the tang stamp, it has the crown on it, and then it has ERIAL space, and then the rest of Imperial. So it's like the blade got caught halfway in between on the stamping thing, and they got the first half of this, or the last half of this tang stamp on first, and then the first part of it on last. So it's an improperly stamped tang stamp. So it's kind of interesting. But this is just a really nice old. This is really, really old. What did you say, Patty? 60s? So that would make this an ancient knife.
That's correct. It's ancient.
So anyway, really nice long nail nick on it. Nice shield on it. And the covers are still in beautiful condition. So this kind of a, I always suggest people go to pawn shops and antique stores. You just never know what kind of a little gem like this you're going to pick up.
Yeah, I get as much pleasure from them as anything else I get.
Yeah, me too.
That's for sure. In fact, I think I have the brother to that knife, Tom, and it's this little Imperial.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got the two blades.
Yeah.
So it's got the pen and the jack, but just a little. It's a wee knife.
It's a wee knife.
Yeah, it's just a little guy. It's not very big at all. But I really liked the color on it and the Federal shield, and just a nice little jackknife. Perfect little pocket dropper. Cleaned it up a little bit, and I still need to make a video on it. That's for sure. What do we got? A comment alert?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Richter, you got to put this up, man. Richter Knives. Tom, that's great preparation for the show. Did you hear that, RJ? I prepared for it.
Oh, and you
RJ,
didn't get the whole comment.
A raise.
There you go. He needs a raise. Well, Tom, because you did such a great job today, and because Richter recommended it, and I like Michael. He's an awesome guy. I'm going to double your salary right now.
All right.
Oh my goodness. I can't get this sign to go down.
Nothing from nothing means nothing.
I heard that in a song once.
Yeah.
Strike.
Thanks, Richter, for standing up for me.
Richter says triple it. Yep, there you go. Tom, I'm tripling your salary right now.
Wow.
There you go.
Richter, thank you so much. Someone's standing up for me there.
That's right. Absolutely.
You'll pay me in
Absolutely.
Casey's Donuts? Even better, Big J.
Well, wait a minute. That means I actually got to pay something if you're getting Casey's Donuts.
Mhm. Don't worry. With their rewards program, they won't cost you so much.
I like that. I like that, John. That's awesome. Math is fun until it's not.
Have you got any bookers there, Joe?
Just the sport messer that I showed. It's the only one I got out.
Is this a small table you have there?
I'm sorry?
Is this a small table?
It's an end table.
Am I joking?
And Patty's thinking
Some of your older ones. Some of your older traditionals there that you've got.
An older traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Got one here. I believe it's from the 40s or 50s. This was a gift when I was making videos from a guy named BDH. I don't know if he still pops around, but I became pretty good friends with him. We kept in contact on email a lot. He sent me a couple knives. And here is an old Camillus office knife.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
That he sent me a little care package, and I had never had one of these before, and I just think it's a great little pen knife with this spay blade. Which, there you go. They called this an eraser blade because this is like what they used to like erase the ink with, which I thought was a cool little fact when I was learning about this knife. They would just scratch the ink right off the paper. But since I got this, I've gotten another one. I think it's a George Wostenholm. How do you pronounce it, Patty?
I think that's the one I've got, yeah.
Yeah, but I got that one, and I can stick with the... Did I bring another one from BDH? Yeah, here's an old Western one. BDH, I don't know if you guys know BDH, but he's really into the Western knife history. I think he lives right by the old factory. Nice little pruner, a little locking one. A smooth Delrin.
Oh, yes.
This one I think is from the 70s. The office knife I believe is from the 40s to the 50s. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, we got to talking a lot, and he sent me quite a few knives. I sent him quite a few knives. We did some trades, and yeah, really cool. What else do I have over here? Got another one from Dutch Knife Guy over here. He sent me one of these little meets. There's a guy there that always has just random traditionals. Every time he goes, there's just boxes of new traditionals, and he picked through a bunch that he thought I would like, and this is one of the ones that he sent me, and it's one of my favorite patterns. I mean, little serpentine frame. It's a German brand. This one's made by a company called Swanworks. But yeah, just a little pen knife with a Wharncliffe blade, serpentine frame, and a little pen knife there on the end.
Lovely.
Yeah, I was going to sand this one off and really clean it up, but I thought the patina looked so great on it, I just left it how it was.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, old knives. I think that's all I got over here.
Yeah, I got that's the Wostenholm I got.
Oh yeah.
I only just got that about a year ago. They're very hard to find.
Now, am I right that was the original, the Wostenholm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a question I've always asked. What came first? Was it called the spay blade first or the office knife first?
Yeah.
And I think it must be the office knife.
Well, the Camillus one goes back to at least the 1930s, probably maybe 19-teens. I don't know how long the Wostenholm goes back.
Well, we've got our resident spay blade expert here, John. Please weigh in on this.
No, I'm no expert on the spay blade. I thought you were telling us the other day how you were supposed to use the spay blade and how you don't puncture and how you said it was for the hide, not tearing it up. And
sure, on a trapper, the big long spay blade on a trapper.
Yeah, and then I used the word scrotum, and then everybody looked at me funny. And
That's a spade blade, the small one on a cattle one.
Okay. So you're the expert, Tommy.
But I don't have a collection of over 300 spade blades.
Here we go. Lies, all lies. I mean, geez, how many? I'm just gonna paint this up to the top here.
You should get a T-shirt made with it, John. Just sit there with it on all day.
Lies, all lies, lies.
Well, here
But-
I will save you. I will save you, John.
Okay.
Not that I know anything about spade blades at all, but I do have two things that both John and Patty like. And how about a John approved trapper and a boker?
There we go.
How does that sound? Okay, so here's a beautiful boker. This was a gift to me from David Portman on Instagram, and it's really cool. This little one-handed opening trapper stonewash blade. It's got a liner lock on it, but really beautiful wood on there. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And since it's only got the one blade and it's not a spade blade, I knew John would like that. You know,
Yeah,
so,
you need to show that one more often.
yeah, I should. Because it's a beauty, that's for sure.
What kind of wood? Just
Yeah.
like kind of rosewood or something?
I really
No,
like what they're doing.
the wood on it, I forget the name of it, but it's the same wood that they make musical instruments out of. So like clarinets and stuff like that. It's an African wood. I can't remember off the top of my head. I should have been prepared. It's not like I don't know how to do this stuff, right?
Right.
So I'm like, oh yeah, this would be a great one to show because I haven't showed it in a while, and I really like it. And it's a boker, and I knew that Joe would appreciate it. I knew Patty would like it. It's a John approved trapper, So there you go. But yeah, it's a really cool knife. But I'm sorry, I don't forget. I don't remember the wood. Go ahead, Tom.
If John approves it, I don't like it.
Oh,
That's my boy.
I'm going to
getting
be that.
salty in here.
I'm going to be that way today, John. You
Put that up
always
against John and this one.
John.
and look
He
out.
always gets the last word in.
Yep. And there's the comment for John. There you go.
Oh no! Bring him back.
Yeah.
PTSD.
Yeah, you might have PTSD from that. That is for sure.
Well, RJ, if I could interject here for just a moment, I'm going to have to take off a little early here today.
Okay.
But I
want
wanted to say,
Junior to his singing lesson.
no, actually, I'm going to go visit my dad. So
Okay.
But no, it was another great live here, RJ. Thanks for having me on. Great panel. Joe, really nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
And thanks for showing all those great knives. And to everyone out there, all the viewers, thank you so much for tuning in to RJ's Lives. And we'll probably see you again next week then.
Probably.
Okay.
He'll never be back, RJ.
If I can afford your new salary.
What's that?
You'll
if I
never
can
be back.
afford-
Tell him the truth, RJ.
If I can afford your new salary, I'll have you back.
Oh, okay. If you can't afford me, I'm sure Junior will be more than willing to work for whatever you can pay. Goodbye, everybody.
Junior has been on here before, so
yeah.
We'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye,
Take it easy, Tom.
Bye.
Happy Father's Day. All right. So there you go.
So
Tom
it's not
exit.
ebony wood. We never determined that with the.
I can look it up real quick.
No, I mean you don't have to. But somebody was saying
I can
KJ
do
was thinking it was ebony.
No, it's not ebony. It's
Cocobolo?
Nope. Not
No,
Coca-Cola.
it begins with G. I know it begins
Like
with G.
Yeah.
He
it-
borscht
or something.
That one you said there.
Borscht.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
I don't know.
Grazilla?
That's how I pronounce it.
yeah. Gorilla. Or,
African black.
Grazilla.
yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
Look
like
at it,
Gorilla or Godzilla wood, whatever the hell it is. Godzilla wood.
Godzilla. Giborsha.
That one.
Oh, Jerome, I just saw your comment. That is awesome.
Oh no.
In case you didn't know, Joe, Tom is our resident buck knife guy.
Okay. I had a buck. I could have talked about it. I didn't know.
Yeah, I showed a buck already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you can't start Tom off with a buck. Once you start, he doesn't shut up.
Yeah.
Well, I got a buck. Should I show a buck?
Sure.
Yeah, now he's gone. Let's have a look. Yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look now.
Yeah, I actually have two of the exact same buck.
Oh, nice.
I'm really having problems with this camera getting the orientation right now. I apologize about
Yeah,
that.
it's not a mirror. It's real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a 313 muskrat. I have to look. One of them was given to me by Zen Ali. He sent it to me, and I really like this knife. It's got a really pointy, main clip point blade.
Yeah.
What model did you say it was?
Spade blade. It's weird that Buck called this, muskrat, but that's what they called it. And I don't mind the spade blade on it at all. And I think this series in general, the 300 series, is one of the best series that Buck ever did. I think the 301 Stockman is a beautiful knife. I really like every knife in the 300 series. And yeah, I can recommend them. These are super snappy. The springs are dialed in, and you can go online. This is a pre-86 one. It's a vintage one. I mean, you can get these for $20, $25 if you look hard enough. They don't go for much. And so Zen gave me this one, and then I found this one at a flea market. No, I'm sorry. Zen gave me this one. This one's in like really good shape. It's got the black Delrin. I found the other one at a flea market. It's in a little bit rougher shape. So this one stays in the cabinet, and this one goes to work with me. Gets thrashed on. So yeah, the Buck 300 series. This is the 313. Just the 300 series in general, I really like.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
That's a
So
series
one
I
last
need to.
one Ali gave me, because I think that's the last one. Here's a little peanut. Oh, Camillus peanut. It's vintage.
Okay.
I think this is 60s, 70s. I'm not sure. It's the only peanut I've ever owned, and I don't know if it's like the same kind of dimensions and stuff as the case peanut. But yeah, he gave me this one. I think it's just a great little watch pocket knife. It just disappears, and you got two very capable blades on that. Good action. Yeah, I tend to lean on my slip joints. I tend to lean towards the smaller knives in general. I don't typically like having a really huge slip joint on me. So little knives like this are perfect. Lots of people, say these knives are too small, but I would venture to say that anything you can do with your big Spyderco within reason, I could probably do with this with very little effort.
I agree. I have a stack. That's why I love the GEC number 25. I think it's one of the most capable knives, especially for its size, but it's an awesome knife to bring out. Anybody has seen the 25? I've got a 25 and a peanut just to let you see the size. There's the GEC 25 and there's the peanut. So there's not much difference, but
No.
this blade, and it's a fatter stock, obviously, it's a much fatter stock, but this is one of the most capable knives you can get, definitely for work. I just adore this knife. It's in snakewood. Beautiful little small knife.
Yeah, I like them. I like the small knives. The 14 pattern, a lot of people say they don't carry the 14. They prefer the 15. I prefer the 14.
Yeah.
For me, the way I use a knife, the way I hold the 14, I don't hold it all on the handle. I kind of pinch the blade, and the way I do that, all my fingers fit on the handle, and I have complete control over the blade. And yeah, so when people say the 14 or these small knives are too small for these bigger tasks, just you don't need to believe it, because you can do any of this stuff, any of these cuts I mean, I don't know what people are doing with their knives that they would need
Yeah.
a 6-inch blade to cut. I mean, maybe if you're cutting, media that you need such big blades,
Compensating. That's what they're
that's
doing.
not going to work. But for most, if not all, normal daily EDC
Plus
tasks,
one.
I think a small fixed blade is perfectly fine, or a small slip joint is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Here you
No
go.
one needs like an 8-inch fixed blade.
Oh, go
When
ahead,
I look at
Patty.
my grandfather's knives, which I have, he carried like a little Boker penknife that was like this big, and and a lot of those knives I see at the flea market that these old women are selling that their husbands passed away. Unfortunately, a lot of these knives that I see, they're these teeny tiny flip joints, pen knives, little multi blades. But I think it's just more of a recent thing with the modern knives that people feel that they need a larger blade to open their Amazon package.
But I think a lot of us did start off with that wanting this big knife, the fancy shiny thing that flicks open. I know coming from Northern Ireland where we had no knife culture at all over here. It's just bad to have a knife. So I started off sort of with the big Ganzos and that because I'd never used a flick knife. It just hadn't been part of my life. So, but I mean, I've come down now. A traditional knife does me for anything. If I need it, I've got the big knives and I like them to collect. Don't get me wrong, I do collect them, but for use, it's slip joint.
It's really funny because on the slip joint, I prefer the smaller knives, but on the modern ones, I always prefer the full size. If there's an option between full size or a smaller version, I'm going to get the full size every single time. I got the Enduro when everyone was singing about the Delica. I didn't want it. As far as I was concerned, for $10 more, I can get the bigger one. I mean, for large folding knives, almost a 3.5 to 4 inch blade. That's the range I like to be in with my moderns. But with the slip joints, really
begs the question for you. Then, what do you prefer, the pair of 2 or 3?
I'm sorry.
That begs the question. Then, which do you prefer, the pair of 2 or the pair of 3?
I prefer the pair of 3. I don't really have anything against the pair of 2. Just the pair of 3. When I put it in my hand, it fits so perfectly. It's almost like the knife was made for my hand. And the pair of 2 is an extremely comfortable knife, but for me, the pair of 3 is more comfortable.
I always find that the stock para 3 or para 2, I should say, was very uncomfortable if you were doing it for long periods of time. I always find that handle very uncomfortable. It was sharp. I never find it really, really comfortable. It's a good knife, but for extended period of use, the para 3 just beats it hands down.
Yeah, the way I hold the pair of 3, it's with my thumb up in the jimping and my pointer finger in the choil, and then the handle's not small or anything. It fits my hand out fine, and I have zero problems with it. The only thing I said with the pair of 3 with the G10 version is I don't like the placement of the clip, and I think a lot of people have said the same thing. And I like the FRN version. They have the wire clip. It just sits in the pocket a little bit better.
Well, I had the G10 version, and I had to do exactly what you said. I had to buy a new clip because it wasn't comfortable.
Yeah, if I were to buy one, I wouldn't be happy with it until I had a deep carry clip on it. With a 1/4 inch knife sticking out of my pocket, in a country where I'm not allowed to carry that knife, it's not very appealing.
Exactly.
Did you have a knife you wanted to show, Patty, or?
I was just going to show one of these.
Yeah.
Well, I can't even think what the name is now. My head's gone dull.
Old timer.
No. This is a Parker Frost.
Oh, okay.
USA. Now it says USA on it. Did Parker Frost make in the USA, or did they have Buck make
for a
for
time?
them?
For a time.
I don't know that.
Was it Buck that made their knives?
I don't know.
Buck or Camillus, maybe. I mean, this is a fantastic knife. So well made. It's not like what I hear of. When you hear Frost or Parker, it's usually going to be a cheaper version. This is an absolute stellar knife. Beautiful fit and finish.
I mean, if I had to guess, that looks Schrade to me, but that's just a guess.
Yeah, you could be. Yeah, it could be right, I suppose. But it's a beautifully made knife. I was really surprised when I got it. This was I got it for really cheap, and I was really glad I did because it's an excellent knife.
Yeah, probably overlooked. People hear Frost and they run for the hills.
Yep, pretty much. Well, I had a buck that has been on here before. This is the 303 Cadet that I found in a secondhand store here in town. And this is one I sent off to Buck to get their spa treatment. And they cleaned it all up, but it came back pretty nice. And I like the size of the 303. I think this is a fantastic knife to carry. I don't have a 301, but really I don't know if I'd want a bigger knife than this. Anyways, as a stockman for in the pocket carry. But since we were mentioning Zen and some of the things that he sends out, he sent me this little Camillus jackknife, which again fits into what you were talking about, Joe. The knives that people carried that they didn't carry big old giant knives, and a knife like this will get you through your whole day just fine. You don't need anything.
You got two blades.
Yeah, beautiful two blade, beautiful little Camillus. Great little piece of Americana, for sure.
Yeah. For sure, and it looks very similar because mine's a Camillus as well. The one I showed. Could it be that it's like the same kind of from the same series? That have
could be. Let me see if it has a
mine
series.
appears to be like a brown jig.
Yeah,
element.
this is exactly what this is.
Yeah,
it's like
Could
a
be from the same
brown
series, from the
jig.
same person,
I'm sorry.
I was just saying, it came from the same person. Very, very likely that's from the same series.
Yep, very likely. That's for sure. Yeah, it just says Camillus, New York, USA on the blade.
Mine says the same. Camillus with a big underline, and then New York, USA.
Yep. Yeah, they were probably right on the same assembly line.
There's another two from the same assembly line, but different brands.
Oh, there you go.
This is a K-Bar, and this was a George Wilson home.
Oh, yeah.
So very similar indeed.
Very similar. Yes. For sure.
Yeah, I got it. And these again, going back to that second-hand thing, these wee knives you can pick up on the second-hand market. Well, over here in the UK, used to be Etsy, but most of the channels that sell knives on them, you can pick these up for just a few pounds, and they're lovely little knives. And the carbon steel in these just takes the most wicked edge.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might be scared away by like the condition of some of the old vintage knives, but cleaning an old vintage knife is really not as difficult as it sounds.
No.
A lot of times you can just put some kind of metal polish on and get it looking, usable. Sometimes you might have to, start sanding on the blades and, in the progression. I would normally start like going up 400 grit, like all the way up. I push to like 3,000, 4,000 grit sometimes.
Yeah.
You get like shine on that blade. But you can get these. I mean, I pick up knives at the flea market. I mean, average price, €2-3. When I buy a knife on eBay, I mean, I don't shy away from bad condition as long as the blades are full, and I think I can restore it. It's a hobby of mine. I enjoy doing it. Knives are cheap. It might just be just a little TLC, a little afternoon at the spa, and they're good to go.
Yeah,
Tom,
way to go.
Tom does quite a few restoration videos. So
I learned one of the best things I learned from Tom was this: soaking the knife down in mineral oil in a bath. You just throw the knife into the mineral oil and let it lie there for 24 hours, and you'd be amazed what it takes off a knife. It really, and it softens it all up so that when you get a toothbrush afterwards, it takes nearly all the bad stuff away.
It'll also hydrate the bone, so it might be like really and old and cracked looking, and after like a night in mineral, it'll look fresh
fantastic.
and new.
Best tip I've ever had.
It drinks it up and soaks it all up and really makes it shine.
No, you boys are very quiet today.
I know. I'm thinking something happened. Maybe it's because we all stayed up late last night with Big Red. I don't know. But,
that was a long one.
Sorry, Joe. I hit the button right when you held up that knife. But we'll get right back to you. But this is a secondhand find that I thought was just awesome. Was this Hammer brand knife? I found this large stock sitting in there, and I guess these were made in the early 70s. From Imperial Schrade was the maker, but it's got these really neat old covers that are clamshell covers. But the thing that's impressive on this particular knife, I don't know if you can see it, but look how thick the stock is on these blades. I mean, it's just amazing to me how fat they are. But I guess it didn't come across on the camera as much. But I mean, they've got really, really big blades on them. There's lots of meat on these blades.
I think Rough Rider just brought a series out with the same top.
They did.
They did, yeah. I think I seen that. I didn't get one, but
yeah, they call it their Heavy Forge series. I picked one up to be a partner to this one. Is that a
Bulldoze? 71. This is my second 71, and I apologize for the lighting now. It's now 9:45 at night where I'm here, so I'm just relying on the room lighting. But this is my second one. I got this off another one of these Dutch guys that runs with the same crew. He's BBC Holland, Bladed Vapo. He has 2 different accounts. I think he even has YouTube as well. But he had this knife. The story with this one is I had a 71. I love that 71. I lent it out. It was in muslin micarta. I lent it out to a friend for kind of like an extended loan. I sent him a bunch of knives. He could just kind of take a look at them at his leisure. And something happened to that knife during its trip over there, and it got left in some water, and it was completely rusted out to the point where it wasn't even worth getting the knife back. So ever since that happened, I was on site for 71. I could have bought one at any time. I knew I should. Eventually, and the opportunity presented itself. Martin offered to sell me this one. This one's in the OD green micarta, and this has been the replacement for the one that got destroyed. So yeah, also a great pattern by GEC, the Sidebuster. This is the smaller version. They also have a larger version. Yeah, but I really enjoy the knife, and I'm really happy to have another one back in the collection. I don't know if I have anything else from Martin over here. Oh yeah, I do. Little vintage fixed blade he sent me. The community, the knife community, is really, I mean, the best community ever. Is it not? I mean, where else do you get people that just send you stuff, like expensive stuff? Yeah, I mean, I've never seen it in any other aspect of my life other than this community here. You sent me this. This is just a little vintage Skinner. It's a German one. It's from Anton Vingen Jr.
That is stunning.
Yeah, the German Skinner knives are really, really cool. I love the blade on them. I left the patina just as it is. I thought it looked great. Stag handle. Yeah, so like I said with the community, I mean, I can only thank people so much. I mean, I've given knives out as well, but it's just something that this community does. No other community does. I think it's great, and I hold on to these knives. If you've given me a knife, I can almost guarantee that I still have it. Somewhere in the other room. I have a lot of knives. I don't know how many I have currently. I guess probably around 300 to 500. Only a small portion of those are on my display or in my working display. I keep my using knives in there as well, but the rest are just tucked away. But if you've given me a knife, I still have it. I cherish it, and I really like that. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, I completely agree. Those are some of the best ones. Go ahead,
boys. I gotta break out of here too. So bid you guys farewell.
Okay,
had a great time with you guys. Nice meeting you.
Thank you for being here. Happy Father's Day.
You too, guys. We'll catch up with you next week. Take care.
All right, we'll see you. Okay, let me bring you up here, Patty.
This is a wee knife I just got a couple of weeks ago. This is a wee same as you bought a fixed blade, right? This is an Arthur Wright and Son little Skinner. with the leather stacked handle and that is aluminium pommel.
Very nice.
Beautiful little knife now. I put a wee edge on it. It had been really badly sharpened before, and I haven't readjusted it yet because it's probably not one that I'm going to use. I've plenty of other ones I can use. Do you know what I mean? But I put an edge where it cuts now. But it's a lovely in hand knife. Beautiful knife in hand, and I think it was a few pounds I paid for this. Probably about £20. I think it's just lovely. It comes in a wee sheath. Nice wee leather sheath, modern sheath. But yeah. Well, boys, I think it's nearly. I think I'm maybe even going to pop it. Do you fancy bringing us to a close?
Yeah,
Or do you
I think
want to stay on?
I did want to tell Zen that both Joe and I did show off our Camillus 21s, and we did talk about that. We talked about you also, so I don't know if you saw all of that stuff. So yeah, very, very cool.
RJ, if you want to stay on, I can pop it. There's no problem.
Okay, well, go ahead and
thank you very much, Joe. It's been really good to see you again. Genuinely, please get a video up if you can. If you get the urge, don't hold it back. Let it come. You're missed. Take care. All the best. Cheerio, Matt. Cheerio. Thank you very much, RJ.
All right, we'll see you next week, sir.
Bye now.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, we got to see this live.
Yes. Usually this is hidden from the audience, but you see what happens.
I got it.
Paddy trying to leave.
We always enjoy watching Paddy try to exit the live
It's
stream.
the highlight of my Sunday, trying to watch Paddy leave a live stream.
Trying to figure it out.
But
I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie, I might fumble as well. So let's just hold on.
it's okay. We'll wait till we go off of the live. That way, no one has to see you struggle, except us. But yeah, I think now it's probably a good time to wrap this up.
Early in the morning, I'm working at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's 10 o'clock right now. But I could show off 2 more knives, then I might have to call it a night.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's show your 2 knives real quick, and then we'll call it a night. That sounds fantastic.
So these knives are cool. I don't remember either one of them who I got them from, unfortunately. But they're both cool in the sense that, well, I'll just show the knives first.
That's nice.
Northwood's knife. I'm forgetting the name of this knife. Someone please comment what this is called. The big something. And then I got another Northwood knives. This one's a Congress, Gladstone, Michigan. Northwood knives. The thing that makes both of these knives cool is I sold both of these knives and missed them, and then had to go beg and grovel to get them back.
Right. I
sold this one to. I traded this one to a guy on Instagram named Bavarian Outdoors. He's also from Munich. Met him up in person. I don't know. A year later, I wrote him and asked him if he wanted to sell it. He wasn't interested. 2 years later, I wrote him. Wanted to buy it back from him. He was interested. So we worked out a price, and I was able to get this one back. And this one, the same one. This one went to a guy named Avo ID on Instagram. He's had a few different names. I believe he used to be called Sparrow EDC or something like that. I sold this to him and then really missed it. Wrote him, said, hey, what's it going to take to get that back? And he ended up selling it back to me for the same price that I sold it to him. So this was just a really special knife in my collection. I regretted it as soon as I sold both of these, really.
Yeah.
Did we get the name of this knife? Did anyone say this? What is it?
No, nobody said.
The Big Bay, I think. I think they have the Big Bay and the Little Bay. It's on the 78 frame.
Yes, and Joe still does have the Fremont Jack. He showed that earlier, and he said he will never give it away. So there you go.
Like it.
Fremont for life.
Yeah, so those are the 2 knives that I sold and somehow managed to get back.
Nice.
That's about all I got. I managed to get through pretty much my whole table.
That is very cool. That's the sign of a good show right there.
Yeah. All your knives are out and done. Success.
Yep, exactly. Well, Joe, I want to thank you very much for accepting my invitation to come on the show. As you can tell, the community still loves you. We miss you. a lot more of us will follow you on Instagram. So, just keep doing what you're doing. Good luck with, continuing with your weight loss journey and raising your new baby and having fun with that. So,
yeah, thank you very much. I mean, this was great, guys. I mean, coming in here just talking knives for 2 hours, it's something I don't get an opportunity to do recently very often. So thank you guys very much. I had a lot of fun.
We'll tell you what, anytime you feel like coming back, just let us know. We'd love to have you on, and we can definitely talk about knives and just do our thing.
We'll do.
All right. Very good.
Thank you guys very much.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. For anybody that missed the beginning of the show, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And we will see you next week for another episode of RJ's Lives. We'll see you guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Peace out, guys.